Hi there, this is Metal Sharpens Metal, and my name is Daniel. I just got back after being inspired by Winter's Gate to go to Winter's Gate. Now, I wasn't able to lift the Golden Wolf either, so I decided to leave and come back with my life barely intact. But now I have a newfound appreciation for the comfort that the characters in the story will never experience again, which is warmth, bodily warmth. I bet they wish their fires could burn this hot. I don't know why I chose fantasy violence this morning when I woke up, but here we are. And yeah, nobody's even going to understand that intro until we hear the song. So stick around and we'll figure out what the heck I was talking about. Today we are listening to Winter's Gate Parts 1 and 2 by the band Insomnium. It's an epic fantasy core melodic death metal song from the northern reaches of Finland. So get your parkas zipped and your fires kindled and we will jump in. So yeah, the first part here is called Slaughter Moon, as you can see there. Ew. A very bleak intro with that wind sound that they got in there. Kind of reminds me of the intro for Pain Remains, that Lorna Shore song. With just the very delicate melody coming in. I should say, Lorna Shore reminds me of this. And I like this artwork too, because it's simple, but it's like the, it reminds me of the Great Wave, that Japanese print, especially with the flecks of snow. Oh my gosh. Do you want me to go on a spontaneous adventure? Because opening your CD with blast beats is the way to do it. Another tramp-looking lead line. Can't really have too many blast beats. It's the same thing with breakdowns. Same rule. Such a good riff right there. Just classic Melodeath. Pre-chorus here. Oh, that lead line. Going with the opening melody. Sounds so good. Right back at it. Yeah, this is how you open up an album right here. This is awesome. Pads kind of swelling in the background. By hunger and greed. It's an important line. Try to fix that transition there. Okay. Big change of pace. Got the kind of pitch shifted lead line there in the back. It's like moving the sound or something, I think. Very driving riff. Fits the theme. Can someone tell if that's tapping or something? That just sounds so good, that harmony. So many layers. There's just like a couple that you kind of follow, but yeah, there's like a acoustic guitar, it sounds like, and just several lead lines. Very cool. Nice little passage. It's a pretty Opeth lead line right there. And the solo tone of the guitar even. One more chorus to round us out. Little glassy guitar in the background. Very cool. So what did you think of the first melodic death metal song on the channel? I'm betting some of you thought that the first band I would choose wouldn't be Insomnium. Anybody who's in this space, you might have been expecting someone else, perhaps? I don't know. But if I'm anything, it's unexpected and opportunistic and a bit impatient, and you know, it was snowing outside. It goes with the theme, so that's what you get. So you'll notice that I had more lyrics at the bottom of the page that were labeled Golden Wolf Part 2. That's just a name I gave it. Like I said, there's 7 songs. We listened to the first song and the second song. The third song is technically part of the Golden Wolf section. So that's why there were more lyrics there. We will be analyzing in light of those lyrics, but I'm partially trying to just whet your appetite here, so I'm not going to give every spoiler, every detail, anything like that. Insomnium is one of those bands that when I don't even remember how I found them, probably on some YouTube related video, but they've always been one of these bands that I can listen to them and just kind of blissfully ignore the lyrics, partly since they're kind of hard to understand if you're not really trying, and partly because melodic death metal always brings to my mind themes of like fantasy and mythology, bows and arrows and swords, Magic the Gathering, like, you know, those types of things are what I associate with Melodeath. Well, the kind of like European, Scandinavian melodic death metal flavors. Certain chord progressions and instrumentation will just naturally bring a swell to my chest and a sense of adventure just within the first few seconds of listening. And that's why I can just kind of listen to it and enjoy the feelings that it evokes, even if I don't know what they're singing about. So they get me hooked like that, but then I do naturally want to look into the lyrics, and I think it's an important job as an active listener to do that.
Well, there's got to be an explanation.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can find out from reading.
First thing to note, this band is far from Christian. They have imbibed the anti-Christian kind of culture of Scandinavia. Yes, I do get that there are many wonderful Christians there too. And they might even be kind of fringe Vikings themselves at this point. I don't think any of them are going to be out there burning churches like Vikings used to, but I don't know. They probably wouldn't shed a tear if it happened.
Yikes.
Oh, lighten up. I'm not even joking. I bet the band would have laughed at that. So even if some of their songs are pretty spiteful, actually, regarding Christians, this album, taken by itself in isolation, I think is a really well-written fantasy. And that's always a treat for me. Their lead vocalist is named Niilo Savanen. Hopefully I'm saying that right. For this album, he also evolved into a short storybook author and wrote a small booklet that goes with this album. It gives a lot of color and commentary to the content of the lyrics, and it's written from the point of view of three main characters. It's like 25 pages long. It's really cool. You should just check it out. I've played some Dungeons and Dragons with my friend in the past, and it was always a joy to hear him spin these stories and use the theater of the mind to kind of imagine along. So reading and listening to this album kind of reminded me of that. All right, so what you might have gathered from listening to that was that a group of Vikings was on mission doing stuff. Now, here's where some of the other details from the book come in. So they were on mission in Ireland.
I love it there.
No, you don't know until you live there.
Houses of the southern god, broken under the iron hooves. They run into an old man who tells them about gold and great treasures on an island that's off the coast of Ireland. Even though it's almost winter, they set sail through the fog, which we see in the opening line right here. The hoar sea enfolds us. Hoar means white in this spelling, and they recognize that they are going to meet their crown or their doom. They clearly recognize the risk and reward here. Now, I also noted that they were driven this whole time by hunger and greed. But as they go, they come to this island with a massive mountain in the middle. It says its pinnacle is touching the great sky. Near the shore, when they get there, there are some kind of short summer homes that are currently uninhabited. And as they're searching, they find a shrine of sorts that has a six-legged wolf and some benches, all made of pure gold. Here's a golden wolf, a beast with 6 legs, and it's a prize worthy of legend.
Could we take a peek at it?
Exactly what they were looking for, the gold. They weren't able to pick it up and move it, but they knew they were on the right track. It says here, rewards and riches here within our reach, yet not within our grasp. Their journey continues to get more harrowing and more intense as the winter approaches the remote island, which is indicated by the next song, which was that second half of this song I told you about here. And it says here, sunless, starless, pathless is the way. So during these songs, we also see themes of loss and heartache. The song we listen to ends with where no sorrow creeps in. And then here it says, better it would be to lie on a bed of silt and watch the moon's face from under the waves. So to be dead and buried in the sea. And he is dreaming of days long gone. I'm not going to give too many more spoilers than this because the story is very entertaining. So go read that. But I think it's just important to know that one of the characters has this heartache and loss involved. And through a series of events, the son of the main Viking meets a fairly happy ending, actually. So as for understanding what the story is about, I'd like to analyze some of the underlying meaning here in the words. I'm not going to try to mind read the band and figure out exactly their view of Viking issues or, morality necessarily.
I am not a mind reader, David.
But as I've said before, there is a worldview in everything. This story isn't just a bunch of words and facts all put together for no reason. And stories in general are very important tools that convey meaning and context to our lives, and they also help aid us with memory. But I think that Christians especially have a duty to investigate the worldview in the media, music, the stories, the movies, whatever that we consume. Now, to be totally honest, I don't know a ton about Vikings. I know that they had to fight off dragons for years that were plaguing them, and until one of their young befriended the Night Fury and trained him, and then they were able to kind of exist in harmony with the dragons. But other than that, it's just kind of a black box to me. So I obviously wouldn't gloss over the atrocities that the Vikings committed in the past. Those were real things. They happened.
There has been a murder.
But I don't think that part of the story is being whitewashed necessarily in this album. We see that their excessive greed leads them on this fool's journey to pursue stealing from, a foreign people that they've never met. And because it was happening right at the beginning of winter, it led to their downfall ultimately. Again, not really a spoiler, but you know, there's a way that happens. So the moral of the story is clearly to just wait until summer to steal the golden statues. Duh. Like, that should have been rule number one. I don't know. And honestly, I'm not trying to be the 90s youth pastor that's like, oh, the Matrix and Batman are like perfect, you know, representations of Christianity, and let's have a movie night for the church and, you know, we'll interpret all these themes. Whatever. That's cheesy in certain contexts, but I think that there is something to be said about the metaphor for grace that the son portrays in the story, because his happy ending is kind of a version of grace that he has shown. It's unexpected, it's undeserved, it leads to a more fulfilled life than we could have anticipated for ourselves. So yeah, overall, a quality, well-written, I think, piece of art that people of all beliefs can benefit and learn from. So I hope you enjoyed that song. Let me know if you get those same feelings of just kind of excitement and adventure that swell when you hear those certain chord progressions and melodies, and especially when it's paired with blast beating. I mean, come on, you know, that's just going to get the neurons pumping and you're going to want to go do exciting things. Hopefully I was able to put some more flesh on the meaning of the songs and give you something to chew on. So yeah, thanks for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye. Why is there a pixel? What? Has this always been here? As good as it gets. Anyway, and through a series of events, one thing led to another.
But I hate when you're trying to read something and you come across the expression, one thing led to another. What in the hell kind of lazy writing is that?